Welcome to Blind Spots with Bobby Bronze and Patrick Hughes.
All right, so another week.
Yes,
Same
sir.
episode. Blind spots. Didn't mention that in the beginning. So please, if you haven't subbed, if you're gonna sub, so you can get it right into the feed right away. I don't remember if they like on here because I don't usually like things on the app. But if they do have a heart or something, do that as well.
Yeah. Give those reviews. Give the
5
reviews.
stars.
Give the stars.
Unless it's
YouTube,
bad,
like,
then don't leave the review on the page. Just DM me directly at Bobby
yeah.
Bronze. You can DM me directly. Then we could talk about it, but don't put it on the feed. That's crazy. But anyways, as far as the pleasantries are concerned, how is the last
Man.
6.5 days?
It's been all right. It's been cool. I got like allergies, which is like a new phenomenon for me. I'm having to I've been up here 3 years, and then last year I had my first bout with allergies, and this year I kind of forgot that was a thing again. So now it's here again, and yeah, like my eye was bothering me yesterday, and then I was like messing with it, and I actually scratched it. So then my eye was red all day. So now all the kids were like, "You got pink eye?" And I was like, "Nah, nigga. Like I just scratched my shit. Like it's okay. Like I'm
And
good."
it never bothered you in Florida.
Never had a problem with allergies. But I'm normally like a nasally guy anyway. Like I sleep in a room too cold, my nose will be running the next morning. But that's about it. Like it's not like a thing where it's like seasonal. I know I need to go ahead and get my Claritin and get everything. Like I never had that issue before. Now I'm like, okay, like I thought I was sick. And I was like, damn, I feel like shit. Um, nose all stuffy, eyes kind of like just real congested. And I was like, oh, this is allergies. Like that's what this is. Let me stop panicking and just go buy some Claritin. And it helps. It helps. So I'm learning.
And you know what the irony is that what you just mentioned, as a person with lifelong allergies, that is one of the more positive things. There's no silver lining to it. You're always running. I was always running. Claritin has been my best friend for a long time, for quite some time, a couple
Yeah.
decades at least. But the one silver lining is I know exactly when I'm sick
Ah.
because it feels different than allergies. So
Mm.
whereas someone else, it like you have that maybe a day or so where you're a little bit achy, and then that a couple of days later you're actually full blown sick.
Right.
I can feel it as soon as it happens. Like 2 days before, it's like, you know what? This is something different. Let me go ahead and stock up on some
Start
vitamins,
that prep work real quick.
get some orange juice, start getting the medicine because I already know that I'm actually sick now. And usually I can beat it just because I've always kept that stuff in the house, just simply because I've always battled with it. Now, as far as me with allergies this year, I don't think it's anything any different. I mean, I've been working from home for the past 3 years. And so, I mean, I got this big tree out front. My car always is full of pollen
Yeah.
when I get into it. So it hasn't really killed me because I pretty much stay inside the house for the most part. Um, More stuff in the week. Uh, Not really hung out with a friend, but a friend that used to work at my job. He went back to Nike. This
Yeah.
job could be a little bit stressful. So I figured one of those things, like I don't really do New Year's resolutions, but a big thing for me, at least what I wanted to do going into my 30s, because I'm 29 and I have a birthday in a few months, it
Yeah.
was that I wanted to be more present. So I was going up there to pick up a sneaker, and so I shot him a text. And he's a pretty nice guy, and he's like, "Hey, whenever you need something from up here, just let me know." But and I was like, "I'll just send him a text to just tell him that I'm coming,
Yeah.
not because
I'm not.
I
Yeah.
need anything." And so I'll go up there while I'm getting the shoe. He'll be expecting me. I'll chop it up with him for a few minutes while I pick him up, pick the shoe up, and then I'll leave. And it seemed to like be like more of a, not to toot my own horn or anything, but you know how it is at work. You know, it's pretty mundane, and then you see somebody you
Yeah.
recognize. It's like a not to, once again not to toot my own horn, but maybe it was a little bit of a highlight of his day. Like, hey, that was pretty cool. I was in the monotony of work, and I got to see a familiar face. And I was like, okay, I figured that was a pretty nice thing to do.
There's some sad, everything in high school, bro. You like seeing your friends,
Yeah, yeah.
No matter how it goes, you like seeing your friends. That shit is funny though. To hear another grown ass man be like, I feel like I was the highlight of that nigga day. Like,
Yeah, and another
they
thing
be
is
like that though, because it's probably true.
I'm bad at that. I'm bad at that. So like how you said everything's high school, like I'll be seeing people I know in the mall and I will avoid that area just because
Yeah,
I
I don't
know
see
that
shit.
they're gonna there was a dude that I knew and I knew he was always excited when he saw me and he worked at Auntie Anne's for a long time and I love Auntie Anne's and it was the one in International if you know
All
it's
your
like right
long term friends work at TAs,
and I
and
was
they always see you.
and I would avoid. I didn't get Auntie Anne's for years because it was like I do not want to have a conversation with this guy. He's going to be way more happy to see me than I'm happy to see him. And nothing against him. He's a great guy, but I just like to put my AirPods on, go in the mall, do what I got to do, and then get the hell out of there. I'm not trying to spend any extra
All
time.
all my friends that worked at Auntie Anne's, it was they all understood games, so it was always just
Yeah.
like you
See,
know.
I appreciate that.
I didn't have to
See,
have like the conversation where now I gotta hang out like next to the thing while you like, oh, what's been good with you? You rolling up pretzels and shit. Like, never had to do that.
I seen Al avoid a relative in a Foot Locker, and she ducked behind me, and I was like, "Yo, you straight?" It's like an ex or
Fuckers
something.
close quarters.
It's like, nah, this is my cousin. I'm like, you don't want to talk to your cousin? And
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
oh,
John Wick and Common. Like that's too close quarters to be like ducking niggas.
no, I feel you. Yep. So I'm definitely that guy, unfortunately. But I'm
Yeah,
trying not to be. I'm being a little bit more present.
fuck
I'll
that.
do that. So that was nice of him, and then I'm sure he appreciates it because I could only imagine working at Nike. You've probably gained a lot of friends.
Yeah, for sure. That's real. That's real. Hell, that brings us to our first topic. Yeah, we got some Nike shit to talk about, man. This Nike StockX thing that's kind of ongoing. Um, but yeah, what are your thoughts on that? They said that this guy that hopped a whole bunch of, he got his stock up to resell. What
Yeah,
it was the mochas, the turbos, and like another color, I think like hyper royal or
Carolina
something like that. Okay,
University Hyper Royal. Yeah.
so
Um.
Buddy got all these shoes, and then 38 of them were fake.
So for someone who like is totally against like buying shit over retail, like
Right.
I love sneakers, but I just kind of figured if it was for me, it was for me. Like I always was skeptical over these resale websites, and not necessarily because like it's a bad thing, because it's perfect to have like one particular place that can facilitate these trades for you.
Right.
But the fact that how could you fully be 100% sure that what you're trading is authentic, especially with the fakes being so good now.
Yeah, they
Um,
souped up, bro.
yeah, like when we were in high school, fakes look like fakes.
Yeah.
Like when you saw it, it was in a
Lil John Man
colorway.
was doing a cradle instead of the
It was a colorway that didn't right. The stitching was all crazy. The shoe just
the
structurally had
stars
no
on the bottom of the forces were just circles. Like it
crazy glue. And now it's like these is really just B grades, if we're being honest. Like they're getting
yeah,
people they're making them in the same factories, the same leather, and
that's
it's
actually
hard to
wild.
tell. It's hard to tell. So yeah, yeah, it doesn't really look good. I mean, I've engaged on um Goat.
Yeah, yeah,
I never bought anything on StockX because the fees are kind of crazy. But the only thing I bought on Goat was like shit that was under retail anyways. Like I bought a
Goat's
pair
good
of
for that.
Yeezys. I bought a pair of Yeezys on there. I bought some New Balances on there. I bought these on there. Those Ultra Boost, Ultra
Mhm.
4D. They were under retail too. So yeah, I don't know. It's how does he even know it's 38? Like, how does he for sure it's just 38? Like it. How do you know it was how do you know that these were all fake? Like,
You know, I thought about, it's kind of a tangent, but you know, what I thought about when you said that it was like they're making them in the same factories. Is it a different pay grade? You already getting pennies, so do you get like less? Like, is it a different pay rate?
yeah,
It
you
has
know
to
that
be, right?
gotta be for it to make sense.
Yeah, like you're in the factory 12 hours doing Nike shit, and then you just pull 4 more of overtime just to do the fake shit at like
Yeah,
a, but it's like reverse overtime. It's like half of the shit Nike's paying.
and then on top of that, if we're being honest, just like the the dudes that's getting sued, like Cool Kai and Omi and a Hellcat, I'm pretty sure because
And
their shit is in those same fact, and they're selling them for like $300 a pop.
but
And
that's I guess that's the thing. It's like you guys Nike's they're not playing with nobody at this point. Like even if it's just to bleed you out, like even if it's just to bleed you your finances, because
yeah,
Nike's Nike and they got it. Like they're going after people that they don't have to actually go after at this point. Like so that
like Jake.
yeah, like guys, we thought you had a working relationship at this point. Like we thought it was all good. Literally to
Yeah,
the point where we were being like, well, honestly, if you probably talked to them like Bape did, you'll probably be all right. And it was like, nah, nigga, Bape ain't cool either. It's just like, damn, like Nike's really going after everybody, and I'm not necessarily mad at them for it. I would like for there to be more originality in the sneaker game. Like, and honestly, I would like for it to go back to. I know some of the prices are like inflation and shit, so whatever. But I would like for the resale game to go back to like, all right, bro. If it's over retail, it's like 40, $50, 100 max. Like it's not we're flipping this for double. There used to be a time where you could get like somebody's whole collection of sneakers for like $400. It would be like 6, 7 shoes. It's just like, bro, like, and not saying that was necessarily a good time, but it was like, you hop on these Facebook groups and everything, and you go in there and somebody's just like, hey, bro, I'm letting these go. I'm about to move. I don't feel like blah 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 blah, and they letting the shoes go. It says 400. We're starting at 400 OBO or best offer.
or even if they was doing like a regional release or something, and it was like, all right, you cop the Cali version for me, I cop
Bingo,
the Florida
bingo.
version for you. We'll swap it out, pay for shipping and whatnot, and we'll just look out like, oh, this is a group full of collectors. I know
That's
you.
what it used to be.
Yeah, it was
That
it was
that's
com- it was community.
and that's kind of the aspect that you lose with everything. Once again, shit gets too big, and then now it's just about the bread, and it's just like somewhere somebody got in, and I want everybody to get their money. Somebody got in and was like, I could run it up,
Yeah,
and niggas went for it, and it's just like niggas like you and I, just like I'm not participating. Like I'm not gonna
I
do that.
rem-
Now, if
I
it's a
remember the
grail of mine, then I'll go ahead and reasonable, but just to have the current release that as we see now, the shits are sitting.
yeah
No, no,
the
absolutely
first
not.
time it really broke my heart. I was in Clearwater, Largo, and it's a skate shop over there called West Side Skate Shop, and they're in
Mhm.
Tarpon Springs, and they had another location actually in Largo. So they were releasing the high top Tiffany's. It's probably like 10, 11 years ago. And so
Yeah,
me and my little brother was like, oh, we'll go get them. We've patronized at West Side Skate Shop. We was getting like, if you Google the kumquat dunks, and if you can throw a picture of them in there, that would be great. But the kumquat dunks we bought, and I actually can send you a picture of on my hood of my car. We probably bought like 5 pairs. Like everybody copped a pair, and it was like 50,
yeah.
$60 a pair. You look on StockX right now, that same pair is like 400, $500 a pair. But we went to that West Side skate shop. That version didn't have it. They had it at the Tarpon location. I went up to the Tarpon location. They were going crazy. And
Right.
it was a dude that was, I got there late. I missed out on my pair. And as I was finding out, there was a guy leaving and he's on the phone. He's like, yeah, I got a size 12. I got it for X amount of dollars. And I was like, oh man, this is absolutely insane. Like I would never. This is already $120, $130 shoe, and I was just like, I'm never gonna spend. Like I almost even at this point where you said grailed, like I don't know if I can even do it. Like
I
I
currently
can't
don't
bring.
have any grills anymore.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
can't.
like I've been priced out of the grill market.
Oh no, no, you're right. It's like the best thing for me at this point is either get something not hyped or just Nike ID something.
And that's what it comes down to. It basically niggas just having style. It's like, you know what? I actually don't need to have the hype shit for this to even like be a thing. Like I'm good just going and like I still enjoy going to the mall and just or whatever like brick and mortar and just grabbing some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy hopping online and just seeing what they got and just being
Yeah,
like, okay, well, you know what? I think I can make this work. I saw a post about like an Adidas street ball silhouette. And I'm like, this is one of the most like slept on shits. I got like 2 pairs of those. And like, I just wear them. Like I don't it's not like a shoe that I'm just like, oh well look what I got. But every time I wear it, I get a compliment like, oh shit, nigga, you got those? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Even if it's just the groceries or to the gym, every time I'm getting some sort of compliment. So I feel like I'm doing it right.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's those guys that can't escape the hype that just kind of mess it up for everybody. And
Unfortunately,
and those same guys are messing up their racket overseas. Those guys that are struggling to get it in over here and that have a problem in the
hey,
metaverse and have a problem with the ladies over here.
Passport Bros.
The passport bros. The
Okay.
passport bros who are messing up their pricing. They're messing up their market.
See,
Kissing and telling.
I have five younger brothers, and they all have graduated except for one, but they all
Uh-huh.
have gone through high school. And when I was in high school, many moons ago, I remember you could take a girl to the movie theater and you
Uh-huh.
could go with a $20 bill and you would get $2 back, And then if you went with 30, that was enough for y'all to share some popcorn, share icy, you know what I'm saying? You good. I went to go pick my 14-year-old brother up from school about a month ago, same high school. And
Yeah.
as I'm going into the high school, a young lady is wearing what I thought was a pair of Stan Smiths. And it was not a pair of Stan Smiths. I was like, that sole looks a little too thick. There's no way there's a high school student wearing Alexander McQueen. There's no way she's wearing Alexander McQueen. So I was like, man, I don't know how you can compete. Like, you can't take a girl to the movies when she's wearing McQueens. Like, so
You got to have a real date.
that was my long way of saying is when you guys are going to DR and the price is what the price is. Now, whatever, man, get it how you live. If you
Right.
going over there and you going crazy, it's inflating the price. And look, the women should probably deserve more. If that's how you engage, if that's how you play, that's how you play. But they are not happy that you guys are going over there and spending American money and American prices
Dude.
over the.
That's like so I don't want to get on my soapbox and like, fuck everybody's day up and shit that's listening to this that wants to go to the DR and pay $15 and whatever else. Like, I'll just say this. That's not like you're doing a capitalism in the worst way possible. Like you're you're doing a bad thing. I'll just say that. Pay the girl, if that's what she charges, she charges, but you absolutely know that you pay more for that. But for all intents and purposes, do your thing. Only thing I have is like, bro, you kissing and telling y'all niggas like being just corny
What
and
part of the
just
game is
being
that?
like that. And like, it's like, this is why you guys can't get girls over here that you can do. I say spend the $30, but this is why you guys can't take that, maybe $100, not even. But $100 dinner in the movie. $100 still covered dinner in the movie. You can't go to AMC. Can't go to AMC. And if you do go to AMC, you can't do the 4K shit. You can just do the standard seating.
Or
Now that
matinee.
you can do the matinee. You can do the matinee. You can't sit in the middle or in the front or like
Yeah.
in the middle area now because
Sides in the
they're
back,
pricing for
man.
seats. You got sides and you got back. That's what you got. Or right up real close to the screen.
Yeah.
Those are your options. But it can be done. If you guys weren't so dead set on taking advantage of these nice ladies in DR or
Yeah.
these nice ladies overseas, wherever that let's say somebody that's probably going to get locked up for sex trafficking that you're watching on YouTube, possibly somebody that you're watching that's going to get brought up on charges for being a scumbag is telling you to do this. You go do it, and then you complain about it because now all of y'all are doing it and making YouTube content about it and TikToks and telling everybody, hey, you can go over here and run up on Gucci because it's just a check. You guys are fucking your own price up, just kissing and telling, breaking the first rule of dealing with women. Period. Keep your business out the streets, and y'all be fine. Y'all are messing your own shit up.
And see, that's the bigger convo there. Like, because I've had this, because I usually just kind of laugh at passport bro shit, because it's like, man, and just to give listeners insight, it's like it's two married guys, and like I understand like people want companionship, but like if you lead with money, then it's about money, like so.
Bingo.
So you have now just made it a transaction, which is fair. Like if that's how you want it to be, then sure. But the difference between when you go to a country that is developing versus you go to our developed country
Right.
in some ways, I guess, they have a little bit, they make a little bit more where it's like you can only impress a broke woman with money. And these women have dads, and their dads bought them cool things, and it's like, yeah, you can't just weigh 40 and they doing whatever you want. It's like
It's like,
they
bro, you just gotta put in a little bit of effort, just a little, just a little bit, and it's like one of those things where these niggas just be on some lowest me shit like all the time, and it's like, dude. So if you're already admitting that you're having trouble getting ladies in America, if that wasn't enough, you're on TikTok talking about how if you're having no luck with the ladies over here, you can spend $50 over here, and that's 2 nights worth of fun times with a woman. So you're already like doing shit that girls don't like in the first place.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like it's just a bad mix. Like it's all just.
Don't you
Like,
want them to actually like you, like to engage?
I thought that was the whole point. I thought the whole
It's
point
more
was
fun that
they
way.
don't like me. I thought the whole
Yeah.
point was they don't like me. You're not helping your case. You're not helping your case by like trying to pop off of this stupid shit that actually doesn't work in the end. It doesn't work. We just saw Buddy get locked up on charges. This shit is like it's time's up on all this shit. That's actually that was actually the hashtag that they used for that the other hashtag of the Me Too movement. Time's up, guys. Can save you a lot of time, a lot of heartache, and a lot of other stress. The issues with women. Just go for the ones that you can actually get. Like go for the ones like everybody knows this like awkward social hierarchy, and some don't really care about it because there's nobody out of their league, and you have confidence, you have other things that factor it. But we all kind of know, where we're at on the pecking order. We know the game.
That's a fact.
You know how it works. You don't got to be a hot guy to get a hot girl. A lot of times, girls go for just regular guys. And you don't got to be like you don't got to be Jonathan Majors. You ain't got to be Jonathan Majors, bro. You ain't got to be all cut up and swollen and shit. You don't got to do all that. You ain't got
You
to
know
have
what?
money. You
That
don't have to
stumbled
do it.
across something good. That stumbled across
Just be a
something
decent
good that
guy.
I think I've read somewhere or heard somewhere that at this point, because of the lack of social interaction in person that we've had over the last 2 or 3 years, that people
Yeah.
are getting in relationships with people that like they're close friends with because of the familiarity. So like realistically speaking, it sounds like with that's a euphemism for like you're making your way out of the friend zone if you just kind of kick it long enough. If you just kind of if you just kind of hang out long
Bro,
enough,
play the long
it's
game,
like,
bro. Play the long game.
it's like, hey,
Not on no sinister shit. Just
yeah,
be a genuine guy. Like just be a genuine good dude to the women in your life.
hey, I'm hungry and I don't want to eat by myself, and you're hungry and you don't want to eat by yourself. Well,
It'll work out.
let's eat
like
together.
I it'll work out, guys. It'll work out. I
It
promise you.
should.
If you're a genuine guy, and you just treat the women in your life with respect, and you don't do this thing where it's like, oh, we hate women, all this extra shit. Like it's not. You got to shoot yourself in the foot every time, and then you go on and cry about it. Just stop it.
and
Like it's
and call
weird.
and call people your dad that aren't your dad. Like they're
But
not your
that's and I was
dad.
trying. I was trying to avoid that. I was trying
They're
to
not your
avoid that,
dad. They're not
bro.
your god dad. If you got a
The,
dad, and not just any dad, if you had a dad that you saw with a woman for a little bit, maybe it wasn't necessarily your mother. Like if like I see my dad with my stepmom for a long time, I see my mom with my stepdad for a long time. I kind of seen how this dynamic, whether it was always good or sometimes bad, but it was like, look, they kind of figured it out and
yeah,
they worked on it. And so at that point, I knew exactly what this was like. And like I like to travel. Do you really want to get on a plane by yourself? Like you had a great time. They showed you love in DR, and you about to go right back to the States.
bro, you could have went with your girl.
And
You could have spent the same money on eating good and drinking good and like paying for experiences, but you spent
it's
you spent the
safer.
same money and it's safer. You spent the same money risking getting
Yeah,
risking disease.
yeah,
You
true
spent the
that.
same money
Yeah,
boosting the price for the next time you go,
that's unfortunate.
and you could have just made some memories with your shorty, with with the girl you've been scared to holler at anyway for the last 2-3 years of your life anyway. Just
Just ask her if
you're
she
right.
has a passport.
That was our long way. That was a long-winded version of saying, "Where are the fathers?" That's what this segment was. Where are the fathers?
Yeah, that's something that's like an inside joke between us that you guys are in on because I think there's a couple things about me. I can probably bring it everything back to racism and like lack of a dad, and not even on some like misogyny, lack of a dad. Because chicks be like, they be like, chicks be having daddy issues, and it's like
Yeah,
it ain't even chicks that is having daddy issues. It's us that be having daddy issues. Like
that's actually the
we,
smart way to have the conversation. That these and of course we're tangenting, but like that's the smart way to have the conversation. Like that's where those like conservative, you know, talking heads get
the
their shit
nuclear
from,
family.
and they're like, oh, well, the family structure, and the nuclear family, and we need to get back, and these women can't raise. No, that's not like Jason was like, black women can't raise no black. Like, bro, hold on, because they've been holding it down,
For
But
part, they, yeah,
there's a smart way to have the conversation that you need a guy, a solid guy, in the girl or the guy's life. You need it
yeah.
because
Because if you don't, they're gonna find that person,
they're gonna find the
and
nigga on YouTube who just got locked up for sex trafficking to tell them how to sex traffic at a discount rate. Like,
yeah,
and they just go over there and do the shit. And like, oh. Then their dick's burning and they don't get tested. Then they don't tell anybody. Now they done burn a girl. And it's like, bro, like this.
the question I have for you, and this is something I literally, because I walk up and down my hallway venting to anyone who listen. It's like,
Same.
does this actually work? So like, if you've ever looked at any of our Instagrams, like you will see the SO. And a lot of these guys, like, you don't ever see them with one woman. Maybe you see them talk to women or be around women, but like, I don't ever see them with. And look, maybe some people call them a certain thing. I don't necessarily think that's it. I just think it, the way that they're setting themselves up, it's not for anything that's going to be long or tangible.
Yep.
So at that point, like, yeah, you could run through them. Like, if that's how you want to choose to live your life, sure, let's run through them. But you're always looking over your shoulder. You're always spending unnecessary money.
Bro,
Nothing's stable. You gotta navigate different personalities and remember
being in
different
a relationship
birthdays.
is work. It is hard work. But
Yeah,
sleep at
yeah,
night.
and you're not sleeping alone at night.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there are several different upsides to this, you know, settling down thing. And that's the thing too. Like y'all really let Drake mess y'all head up when he said married in your 20s. Where the fun in that? And it's like I mean,
oh, you said Drake said that?
yeah, like
And now he's in his early 30s and he says his baby mama's a fluke.
and now he's
Oh,
got
that's
now he's got the chain on with with the engagement rings all the time he's been in love and was thinking about popping the question. Nigga,
And even he will
stop.
tell
Your
you,
idols do not
even
want
he
this
will tell
life.
you, like, I don't like that I'm a single dad.
Got
Like,
it.
it's
Got
like
you.
you didn't have to be that way, you
Shit
know?
ends one way every time, bro. You
Yeah.
know, unless you're just that guy that just enjoys it. But for the most part, it's most of us aren't that guy. Most people just aren't that person. Most people enjoy companionship, enjoy routine. Like
Yeah.
most people enjoy it. There's a reason why we've settled into routines and settled into companionship is because we enjoy it. For those
Op-
outliers that don't,
Options are
whew,
overrated. I tell other people time. If options were as great as as people say that they are, then Cheesecake Factory would be the number one restaurant in the world. And no one ever really loves Cheesecake Factory. Like,
nope.
there's some things that you really enjoy, possibly, but it's like, all right, this is probably a place that I know is always going to have places for us to eat. Everyone that I'm in a party with, I don't have to necessarily like get dietary restrictions because they're gonna have something for everyone. But if
Yeah,
they don't do one thing that's exceptional, I personally would prefer a restaurant with three entree or five entrees, a couple apps, a couple desserts, a rotating menu, because now I get the freshest ingredients. You're just
this
focusing
nigga.
on this one particular thing, and we don't have to. How could you pre-prepare 60 items on hand to get out to you in 20 minutes?
Also, you're fucking up the environment.
Do that.
You
So
don't you don't need this many items on the menu.
yeah, and you just go to a burger.
Locally,
You're just going to
farm
order a
to
burger.
table.
Just going to order a burger anyways, or sliders, or
I be
a
thinking about that shit,
flatbread.
bro.
Yeah.
I be like, damn, how's everybody doing burgers and wings? How's everybody doing this? How's there enough gyro meat to go around? Like, why is it? You guys got this many lamps? So it's my
Yeah,
concern. Nah, I don't know. I don't know if that just like that just happened, but I'm just like, damn, like all this.
what's happening to the rest of the chicken? Like, how many wings are they making chickens
I
with
gotta cap this
multiple
shit.
wings?
I gotta cap the empathy and concern at some place. So I just be like, yeah, fuck it, nigga. I'm gonna eat shit. Y'all got it. I'm gonna eat fuck it.
That's a fact.
But
That's a fact.
shit. There's no I guess clean segue into this one. But like, how do you feel about shit? Nah, I'll go there. I'll go there. We'll go to Dochi and Yak. The Dochi track. What is
Heard a
it?
clip, heard a snippet.
Yeah, it's a cute song. I think Tyree referred to it as like the Disney Channel, like that Disney Channel star's first song apart from Disney that they like announced, hey, I'm a woman now. That's what it
Mm,
sounds like. I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good read on it.
yeah.
I don't think I like this is one of the things that I go back and forth with just because we're people
Yeah.
and when there's no one like right way to do it and sometimes you waffle on shit. Um, Kodak got real charges.
Yeah.
I listen to Kodak.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm knocking myself at this point. If anybody, like I don't want anybody to be like, oh, this nigga on his high horse. Like, no, I'm not knocking myself. He
Oh, and
got
I
real
listened to
charges.
quite a bit of Kodak as well.
I listen to a lot of Kodak. Like
Yeah.
like I like man, even the Z Look Jamaican. I was bumping the Z Look Jamaican. I was like, damn. He said, little buddy, he all on my dick. I'm like, dang, like that's a amazing bar. And he said it like in his Kodak swag. And I was just like, damn, like
To me,
I
speaking of his
I be
ability,
catching
I think
everything.
he might be the best. To me, he's like the best rapper in the state. Like,
Oh, yeah.
maybe you could say Ross, depending on, But to me, if you're
Ross is not a
listening,
legacy act.
yeah, exactly.
For those like still competing, yeah, absolutely. Ross is cemented. Ross is cemented. But for those still competing and jockeying for position, absolutely. Kodak tops everybody. Um, maybe she might have some competition with Dochi. Who knows? But
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm like this whole time I've been like, I don't necessarily have a problem with her doing the song with Kodak. I don't have a problem with it. She's from Florida. Uh,
understandable.
Everybody, this is one of those things where it's just like, it. My problem is you knew your fans would have an issue with it, which is why
Yeah,
you released the solo version as well. So
yeah.
if you know that there is some type of morality issue here or some
Oh,
type of
I do.
thing,
Then why do
then
it?
why do it in the first place? And that's like the thing, and I guess that's the question that I have for myself. If I'm like, you know, trying to figure out where I stand on this issue, if I'm like, I don't want to engage with people that have sexual assault charges or like a history of like assault against them, I don't want to engage with those people anymore, those artists, then why do I still listen to Kodak? And it's not necessarily a frequent thing, but it's still like, nigga, I listen to Kodak. Like, I know majority of that nigga's catalog.
Yeah.
No matter how frequent or infrequent I listen to it, I've listened to it enough to know that nigga shit. And I enjoy it. But it's just one of those things where it's like, if you've like championed yourself or you put yourself in position to be, who you are for women or whatever you're representing for this new age of women coming up, I think it's kind of tough to then go and then work. And that's the same thing. Like, I guess, and it's kind of a good thing because I guess the fans are getting a crash course in these niggas is just people. Like, everybody's just people, and there aren't really like, there might be role models in certain aspects, but nobody's really like a hero. Like, nobody's really just infallible. So that might be a good lesson to get out of the way early. Doechie's gonna disappoint you by doing a song with Kodak. Chloe's gonna disappoint you by doing a song with Chris Brown. In the same way that like now they keep talking about what the CIA or the FBI is gonna release these documents about what they found about MLK and shit, and it's like, on a super other end of the spectrum, but like, yeah, I think it's a good thing to know up front maybe that people are just people, and nobody's actually concerned all the time with how something may read. Sometimes I'm from Florida and I like Kodak. And that's maybe just the simplicity of it. Maybe that's just the end of it, really.
I think there's definitely a lot to that. I think the first thing above everything is to listen to who's offended. So,
Right.
like, I understand it may not mean a lot to her, or it may not mean a lot to some of her fans, but obviously she knows that there's a situation there. However, there is still like, I like this artist. I've been a fan. This is kind of a thing for us. This is kind of a thing for me, so I got to do it. Um, though as much as I would love for her to, like, if you're gonna be on a side, then stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't
Yeah.
necessarily gotta play the middle, because I think Khaled tried to do that with the Palestine situation,
We
and
just need
both,
love. We just need
yeah,
love, y'all. And it's like, no,
they,
nigga, they fucking us up.
everybody killed him for it. So, like, standing the best thing you can do is just, for at least in my idea, is to not even say anything, and like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But standing in the middle is like, we both don't respect it. So
Yeah.
there's that. So listening is number one. But number two, you're right. I mean, as long as, you compartmentalize literally everything in this world. Like, it would be hard. I know a lot of people like to use the word like hypocrite, and I think that's probably not the right word. I think the better word would be to compartmentalize, where it's like, look, if you were going to not engage in things that have maybe a shady past or a shady present, there wouldn't be a whole lot that you would actually engage in.
Right.
We could talk about the phones we use, or the sneakers that we wear, or how the fashion that we engage in is created. But and so, like I mentioned in episode one, like I've mentioned in private conversations, and like I literally live by the rest of my entire life, is like just trying to be as intentional as you are with your dollar and
Yeah.
with your ear. So at some point you will slip up, and maybe not slip up, but it's like, man, this is the perfect music for my run. This is the perfect music for my lift. And so I'm gonna jam, and I may even rap it. Do I necessarily have to put a post on Facebook that says, I don't give a fuck, I'm still bumping R. Kelly? Like, I don't know if that's necessary. Like,
Bingo.
like I don't know.
Therein lies the problem.
Like, I'm not gonna be like, Kodak be raping bitches, but I'm still like,
That's where we get that, and that's where we get into the problem where you make everybody have to pick a side at that point. You make everybody have to be like it's kind of like come on, bro, like don't bring that shit around here, bro. Like
Yeah.
I
If you're
compartmentalize already.
gonna do that, look, I may be doing it too, but let's just kind of keep it low. Like no one knows what
Who
I'm
the
listening to in
fuck?
my car or my headphones.
Bingo. So that's the thing of it all. Like that's what makes it tough is because there's so much overlap in these conversations today.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the same people, honestly. It's the same people. You guys just ruin shit because you guys just gotta put everything on Front Street. Just shut up. Like,
Yeah.
like there's no need to be like, yeah, I know Kodak did dirt. But he like there's no need to acknowledge
Will we be
somebody's.
doing dirt too? And it's like, okay, cool. I guess, yeah, we can otherize it all we want, but it's a little bit.
That's
The dirt is a little bit dirtier. Like,
it's actually crime. Like
my dirt's probably texting while I'm driving. His dirt
you know.
is like, it's dirty dirt.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing. It's that whole like need to be defiant, where it's just like, you know, this isn't working. Like you said, if she would have just, it probably would have been a better response. If she would have just been like, hey man, I'm from Florida, I fuck with Kodak, I did this, like this is a big moment for me to be able to do a feature with, somebody
I'll stand by maybe
that's a
some of
young
these.
legend.
Yeah.
Shit that he has in his past, I don't rock with. I know about it. I don't rock with it. But blah 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 blah. And, we can go back and rewrite, statements for everybody to make, and they probably still won't hit, and they probably still won't satisfy everybody. But there's just a way to engage with this stuff. That is not the same as selling guns to both sides. Essentially, that's not the same as being like, you know what? For those that don't want to listen to it, you can listen to this version, and for those that do want to listen, that don't care, like no, just
I was
make
saying, to
one
be
version
fair,
and then have everybody choose. Have everybody draw their line and say it right here.
and to be fair,
It's
they're
only
gonna
going to
draw
be
the
on this
line
one track.
anyways. They're not gonna listen if they don't like the what this song stands for. They're not gonna listen to a solo version of the song.
Yeah, so you might get them back on your next solo track, but this one they out on.
It's like I remember having a conversation about like the Kanye album, the gospel one, the Christ one.
Donda or Jesus is King, because he's been calling them gospel for like 3 albums now.
Not Jesus is King, the one that was after it.
Donda, yeah.
Donda. And he just kind of blocked out the curse words, and I was like, I mean, I
As a
think
Christian, we curse.
yeah. And so for me, it was like, to be fair, if you added curses, to me, it would have been able to use to be like, you know what, this is like my best attempt at this. Like the spirit is there. To be fair, I'm just doing it in my way. And I would respect that more than you just being like, I'm gonna block out the curses on some, I'm gonna appease a particular crowd, though the spirit ain't there. It's like the same thing. Like, no, just go all the way with it, or completely tell like you did before. Like, y'all
Because
can't do this on here.
and that's just a thing, bro. Like they like I feel like that's we talked about. So you just brought up Kanye, and the gospel thing. There's a scripture. I don't know if there's that scripture, but it's let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. Just pick a line. There's also a scripture that says, God spits out lukewarm. He likes the hot. He respects the cold.
Yeah.
But he spits out the shit in the middle. Spits it out. It's disgusting. You might as well just be cold about it. If you're not gonna be hot about it, just be cold about it. Don't be in the middle. So it's just one of those things, like you said, nobody enjoys like that play in the middle thing. And I just think that's it's a good thing. There's always a lesson to be learned. It's something that somebody can take away from you picking a side. So whether the side is, I'm not gonna do this song with this person, then cool. If it is, well, I'm gonna do the song with this person because I want to do the song with this person. Cool. If it's, I'm gonna do the song with this person because fuck y'all. Also cool, because now I know who I'm dealing with. So it's just like one of those things where it's
and like you said,
there's never a problem being decisive.
Getting it out early is better to when you're a huge star. And now this is the difference between like you getting a deal and you losing a deal.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's the thing too. It's of course not the end of the world. I think it's good for people to like be able to not necessarily have their cake and eat it too, but just understand that like people, like you said, compartmentalize. People compartmentalize. So it could be as simple, as having a cheat day outside of your cheat day. It could be, you know, it don't have to be like these like super deep, you know, issues or anything like that. But people compartmentalize, and those people that will call you a hypocrite for being able to compartmentalize on certain issues that just are kind of benign.
Yeah.
Those people are people operating in bad faith anyway. And those are the
Gotta
same
watch
people.
out. Gotta watch out for bad faith actors.
The same people who fuck up
Always.
the price of Coochie and DR. Honestly, it's all the same people who fuck up the price on StockX. These people just, you know, see ways to exploit a system, and then do that. You know,
Now the
people that,
inverse of that. Now
yeah,
the inverse of that. Telfar Clemens. That's his last
doing the
name.
work. Yeah,
Yeah. He's and this is another conversation. Like I said, I walk down my halls and I scream to whoever will listen.
Hmm.
The thing, and I live with someone is real like in the weeds with as you two on the fashion stuff, and I didn't know that ironically with Ye there was a deal that he had that with Gap that was taken off the table
Yep,
because of the Kanye thing, and then he hasn't turned down since.
yep.
Like literally, if this is not he doesn't make shit for me necessarily because it's like bags, and not to say that we can't use bags, but you know what I'm saying. It's not really for me, but. Like when the shit gets to my radar, he doing shit with QR codes on Apple TV and
Yeah,
popping up. Like he's been with the innovation and just really good price points and just being like, look, I don't. Was that him or was that Brandon Black where Beyonce was like she mentioned the bag and they was like, I'm not.
oh,
I'm
that was him.
that was him. He's like,
He mentioned the bag, and then everybody. She mentioned the bag, and then everybody like lost their shit. It's like it's a Birkin as well. It's like, yeah, bitch. Like,
he's like and he told him he said I'm not gonna raise it. Like I understand that B just gave me the shout out, but the prices are staying. And now with more innovation, more dope shit. And I don't have a firm grasp on it, but the sliding scale on pricing and it seems like the price could get lowered based on the
yeah,
demand versus getting higher based on the demand. And now everyone should be able to get a bag that wants a bag.
yep. Like do
And
it like, yeah. So I guess they're calling it live pricing, and from what I understand is they're gonna start it off at like at a wholesale price. So whatever you paid to get it, whatever you paid to get it made. So if it costs $100 to make it, you gotta start it off at 100. If it sells out, this is the example. I think they get the exact example they gave. If it sells out at 110, that's just the price of the item now. So for whatever future releases, that item will be $110. Um, from my understanding, but it's a really good model.
how
And
frequently does it change? Like if it stays on for a day or have they not gotten to that? If it stays
I
for a
don't think
day,
they
does it
I don't think they
lower?
got into that yet. I don't think they
Okay.
got into that part yet. But
That's the
I,
part I'm interested in. What will dictate whether it goes up or down? What moves it? Obviously, like demand,
yeah,
but like is like how much has to sell in how much time for it to change? Will I
before
get
you
an
start
opportunity?
being like, okay, well,
Yeah,
it's not hitting, so we're gonna go ahead and start knocking it down. Like, but I guess the thing is, I'm interested in seeing. Like, this is
yeah,
like the thing that like this is the shit where it's like, oh, this is like sports at this point. Like, I want to
yeah.
see how this shit works. Like,
I literally was thinking I'm going to the website as soon as it drops, and I want to watch it. Like maybe I
yeah,
don't care to buy a bag, but I want to see exactly how this is going to change the market. And I just love like I know
it
everybody
forces
always talks.
everybody to get on their shit.
I was about to say. The word disruptor is overused quite a bit in fashion, but this is actually disrupting shit because it's like you can't ask for a better cosign than Beyonce on
Right.
certain things, and the fact that she's saying that this is cool and we're gonna follow what she does and we're gonna actually make it where everyone can get it. It's like maybe these big fashion houses are not gonna change that, obviously, but
Right.
it's gonna put some pressure on them to maybe put something that's a little bit lower leveled out
They
or
they have to lower the level of entry. They have to.
yeah,
Um, because it's not like he's an actual competitor. It's not like it's just, well, this is shit that we already got to worry about because it's not like, no, he's taking some of y'all motherfuckers. Like, he's taking y'all dollars for sure.
Yes.
So you have to respond. And responding in kind would be an interesting way to do it. If they can, maybe decide to cut ties with we'll see if they can decide to part with making so much money. But it's definitely interesting just to see, like you said, like disruption, like actual disruption, not just like somebody just doing shit that we've already seen before. Or like this is actual, like we've never seen this. They're using new shit. Like they're taking, I guess, like new concepts and turning them on their head. Like this is different shit. I don't really even know really how to explain it. It's just
Yeah.
I'm just excited to like this is like the moments where you're like, what a time. Like where it's like, oh, I'm glad to be here and like able to see this shit in real time. Because
And
this is
see
definitely
people
gonna
respond
shift.
to it.
This is definitely gonna shift something. I'm assuming it is. So it's interesting, and it is not. It's like kind of like how fucking uh crypto was a couple years ago. It's like I want to see where this goes. Like
Yeah.
I want to see how this shifts shit, and
It
it
can either
shifted
go
shit by
crazy or it could crash, but it's
and
definitely making people do something.
and that's the thing. It's like crypto still has like this lifeline where it's like people aren't giving up on it. So it's still something that you're just gonna watch. So whether it succeeds or fails the first time, it's probably not gonna dictate what happens going forward. But some of that shit is okay. How do these companies respond? Do they start paying motherfuckers onto like the same thing where like Nicki Minaj is like they paying people to talk shit about, like this is the same thing where like these brands start paying people to talk shit on the name and like try to drop, like, you know what I'm saying? Like is it one of those things, or are they just gonna respond with more creativity and innovation, and then the person that wins is the consumer?
The thing
That's
that
what I
I
hope.
the thing that I appreciate the most just about like the entire disruption, especially of like this industry, is like um I think it's pretty simple for me. I like dope shit.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of times motherfuckers be trying to sell us snake oil and try to tell us some shit was dope.
it's a
Like
fact.
what was the JW Anderson sweater with the broken skateboard or some dumb shit? It's like, look, that's not dope. I don't care who you put it on. I don't care if your stylist co-signed it. The shit is not dope. That's a costume. I'm not interested. I will never cop that shit. But like when you can actually do something that's innovative, or even just something so small, like Jerry Lorenzo does not believe in fucking seasons. I'm
Yeah,
gonna drop when I feel like dropping. And it's like, what is the use of you selling me autumn winter 2024? Like, I forget what brand, but they were selling it at the show. Like, oh, you want to just buy it? We could just buy it now instead of waiting a year and a half to get the shit. Like,
yeah,
all these stupid ass fashion rules, and we have to show at this place. And other people are like, oh, you're showing at Fashion Week in London. Hugo Boss was like, we're gonna do our show in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Kirby was like, I'm gonna do our shit in upstate New York. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like I'm just gonna literally do different shit. I'm gonna make it available right away. Like I'm not gonna worry about season so much. Yeah, I'm gonna still show because everyone's here.
Yep.
But if you want to cop it now, so if you're doing this live pricing and it's forcing people because now you're flooding the market with your shit, and you think like everyone thinks that that's devaluing it. And to me, if you're building excitement over a release and you can get people to care more, because that's where Nike's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
They're like
The
we want to
carrying
make
more is the sweet spot.
we want everything to feel like an event, but we also want people to like it has to be scarce. So like at that point, it's like what difference does it make of us getting excited over a release if none of us will be able to buy it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people go years without hitting on sneakers. And it's like, well, this isn't fun. Like I don't even carry the app on my phone. Because what's the
Yeah.
point?
I
I'm
gotta
not even
re-download it every time I'm like, well, let me see. Like,
if there's something I really want, like sure, I'll check it, but I don't engage on Saturdays for sneakers. I'd rather go to another foot site. if I really want the shoe, or I'll start making phone calls to maybe people I know, then there's a possibility. But like if I really, really want it, so if Telfar is doing something where it's like we're gonna give everyone the opportunity to buy it, we're gonna make it actually cheaper, and we're gonna somehow make it an event to where you're gonna want to buy more because it's still dope. Because at the end of the day, dope sells. So if it's dope, then people are gonna care. Nike does a collaboration with Matthew Williams, who's the creative director of what Givenchy, and it's
Mhm.
like, but selling $600 items with a Nike check. Bro, I'm not spending $600 on an item with a fucking Nike check on it. I don't know who this Venn diagram is supposed to fit because no one like people.
Opinion
First of
bars
all,
only.
people who like Nike don't even really give a fuck about Givenchy, if we're being honest. Like, and it's not like Givenchy's bad. It's like they don't know who Michael Williams is. Like with the Ricardo Tisci shit, it was like, yeah, this was dope and this was a time, but it was on an Air Force One, so we care because it's an Air Force One, not because it's Ricardo. Maybe
Yeah,
you and I
absolutely.
cared that it's Ricardo, but at the end of the day, put that. You see all that Comme des Garçons shit. You'll take a Air Max 97, put gray on it and charge 600, 400 bucks for it, and then it's on sale for 150, and it's like, oh yeah, but at the end of the day it's a 97.
Yeah.
I've seen what the price of a 97 is. You can't tell me that this is a $400 shoe when I bought it for 150. Just like the Tiffany Air Force One,
And
$400 Air Force One.
it's the same shoe.
Yeah,
Like,
like
make no fucking mistake. It's the same shoe.
how can
They're
you?
not.
No, just better, maybe a little bit better on the materials. You put some actual silver on it, but at the end of the day, does that equal a four times markup? Not to me, it isn't.
Fuck no.
Maybe, maybe to the hype beast, sure. So the fact
You
that
know,
go ahead, go ahead.
it's the same person.
Yeah,
It's the same person again. God damn it. It's
yeah,
the same person again. And when you said, man, you made a point, and it was like I think you was talking about like it's people that haven't hit on sneakers in years. That doesn't stop them from trying and posting that shit on their Instagram, screenshot
yeah.
that shit and posting their L's every time. And it's like, guys,
That's the best thing Nike's got going for them is that people post their L's.
it's amazing to me that everybody communes around not getting the sneakers they want and then having to pay resale for them later on. And it's like, this shit is weird. Like, to what we were talking about earlier, everybody apparently just wants that companionship of knowing. But it's like, guys, this is the shit that, like you
Misery
said,
needs company.
it helps Nike, but it ultimately hurts you. Just stop engaging. Like, if you're not, like, I'm not getting what I want out of this exchange, I'm just not engaging anymore. And like, if enough people decide to disengage, then Nike will have to innovate.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
have to. The community is bigger. They have to make more pairs, but they tell you that they want everyone to have a shoe, but then Saturday looks like Saturday. And so the fact that there are people that are like, look, I understand that everybody wants a bag because it's important, and it's important for us to get you a bag. But to be fair, like, I thought the bottom line was money. I thought the bottom line was money. And if you make more pairs, then to be fair, you'll kill resale. Resale will die. But that just lets me know, and this is obviously a conversation for another day, that Nike is in bed with reselling. So it'll never die because they were going to buy stock as Foot Locker, I think, owns GOAT.
uh,
Like, come on now, you're getting the money in and you're getting the money out. Like, I already saw the play early. Like,
that shit is weird, bro.
how did I get an email from GOAT at 10:15 when the shoe just came out at 10? So 10, I just missed on the shoe, and here comes GOAT with a push
It's
notification.
actually crazy.
Hey, did you miss out on those Jordan 3s, those reimagined, even though they told us there was a 500,000 pairs? We got them on our site for you.
And you know, it's sick. They told us it was a 500,000 pairs with quality control issues. They told the whole story. But yeah, man, that is crazy though. Like how that actually works. You miss on this site, and then the sub
Literally.
is like, yo, we got him.
but not for 225. 325.
Okay.
350.
So I'm paying the same person. y'all just ran it up on me, low-key.
And then when you find out that the pairs are being backdoored, and then somehow on the release day, GOAT has an instant ship button. So wait, no one has to send you the shoe. Y'all already got a full size one? Come on now, I'm not stupid. Like, I know how the game works. They instant shipped my...
But they ain't ready for that conversation.
They instant shipped those West Indies Air Force Ones, and I was
all the way open.
And I was like, oh, okay, I see. But yeah, I think we're right up against it. A good combo though, great combos. The moral of the story is: get a dad, get a wife, and stop and go where you're wanted and not where you're tolerated. Think yourself hard. I'll be buying a bag. I seen the duffels; those was kind of tough, actually.
Hey, isn't that the thing, right? So I'm gonna find something for me, but like you said, if you could get a wife, you could just buy your wife a bag. Buy your girl a bag. Buy your girl a bag. Buy your girl a bag. Buy your homegirl a bag that you're trying to, get with or whatever. Guess what? It's not that crazy of a price. You can buy a little mini for like $150. You was about to spend it on the kicks, whatever. You trying to get with her. You trying to impress her anyway. Just go ahead, drop the $150 on the bag. Blah, blah, blah. She know you feel her already. Blah, 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 blah. Go ahead and do that. Then you ain't got to go to DR for your discount coochie. Then you can just have, we're together coochie.
I don't know if there's a better coochie to be.
I don't know if there's better coochie. And it's just like, this is just the coochie I've decided to do. And she likes me. And I'm so in love with her.
There it is.
She's in love. That's the twiddly diddly D coochie. Get the twiddly diddly D coochie. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brothers. Stop bumping up the prices in DR for the people of DR.
That's a fact. Well, I guess that's about it. If I didn't tell you before, which I know I did, listen to this. Put it on someone else's radio to play it. Put it on someone else's iPhone to play it. Put it on your boss's iPhone to play it. Play it when you go to sleep. Play it on the way to work. Put it on the airplane, wherever you play that shit. Watch it on YouTube too, man. I mean, you can see some cool stuff in there. I got Prince back here. I see you got a cool what is
they got the Dream Team next to the Dream Team. I got my Spider-Man signed artwork over there. I got my boy. I'm not getting rid of that one over there.
Nice,
got some things. Got some things in the background. We're gonna add some stuff. We're gonna get this whole background areas souped up. Okay, we're gonna get you guys some stuff to look at.
This has been Blind Spots with Bobby Bronze and Patrick Hughes. Thank you for listening.